you let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Hi, y'all. Happy Monday. Happy the day after September 21st. You know,
Happy finale day.
it is finale. So, welcome to the Melanated Way. I'm Linda. That is Abby. We are cuppering. See, y'all, it's totally my fault that we're starting late. I cannot get it together. I blame the dumbass cats for my terrible neighbor upstairs. You know who you are, and you know how loud you are, keeping me up. And yes, I said it. Those shitty kitties are the reason I'm up, and part of the reason why I friggin' cannot stand cats. Period. Full stop. That being said, season 2, episode 14 of Match Me Abroad, Twin Flames, the finale. Listen, you guys, I was not ready. I don't think I was ready. Like, I thought I was ready, but I clearly I was not ready. What about you, Abby? Were you ready for this finale?
I'm so glad that they actually gave us a resolution, but I was not prepared for it. I was prepared to drag it out a little bit more, but here we are, and I appreciate the way it was done.
Listen, they were not mincing their words at all. At all.
Not at all.
That being said, shout out to the fam. I see a lot of our old school day ones in the live chat, and I love that for us. Let's jump into Monica and Bernardo.
Yeah, let's start there. Let's start with the absolute stupidity of this. Mm-hmm.
Listen, you know when they say don't shoot yourself in the foot? That's all I can think of with this. Like, she clearly wanted to go home alone, and that's exactly, well, I mean, I'm not going to give up the ending, but I just think this whole thing is ridiculous. So she, as you know, broke it off with Bernardo because she couldn't stop thinking. No, Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
Broke it off with Bruno because she couldn't stop thinking about Bernardo. Told him, peace out, you're not the one for me. And then hung up and quickly texted Bernardo to come over for a booty call. So he shows up at her room with wine. They make out immediately as she opens the door. She's like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm whole again. I was like, this bitch. What? You're what again? She apologizes to him. She starts tearing up. And you know, one thing I realized, you guys, is that I'm just not a big of criers. Like I am sensitive, and I think that that's probably why. So, like, if you're gonna cry, have a purpose behind it. But if you're crying every 5 seconds, then it's irritating me, and that's how I feel about Monica. Like, what do we like? What's your purpose of crying? Don't just cry to be crying. So she's like tearing up again. She apologizes to him for choosing Bruno, and you know, she starts crying back when Bernardo was leaving, even though she's the one that chose Bruno. No one had her arms twisted. They kiss more, and she's like, it was so hard to say goodbye to you. And he was like, I thought I was never going to see you again. It was all very theatrics, and maybe that's what I can't stand about it. Because at the end of the day, what you're seeing with your own eyes in plain sight, you guys, is each of them gaslighting them, and him especially, in order for him to have sex with her, because that's his purpose of coming over. He's like, not only was he super stoked that he was chosen, but he was only stoked that he was chosen because he said, if you guys remember during the choosing ceremony, that he doesn't believe this is the end of it. He believes he now won over Bruno, and now he gets to have the booty call that he's wanted, and it makes him feel more as a man. Abby, thoughts?
what was really interesting to me is how, like you just said, that they're gaslighting each other. It's how little work that Bernardo had to do. Like Monica's gaslighting herself so hard that he doesn't really have to do, like he showed up with wine and that's it. Like he's in there and he can continue to do the bare minimum. Here you are having a conversation with a man who's already stood you up about how you're going to keep contact long distance. Like, do you really think that you having to feed him this information is going to be successful? Like, she's working so hard to make this into something that it's not, that he doesn't have to do little to convince her of it. He doesn't have to do very much, I mean to say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to get at? Like, he didn't even say that I'm going to call you on this day at this time, and this is when I'm going to plan on coming to visit you, and this is how I'm going to change our conversation, and this is what I have planned for tomorrow before you go to the airport. He's doing literally nothing but showing up to get his sex.
Listen, Abby, listen. This fool was an F-boy from day one. He made it very clear where he stood by a first date. Oh, guess what? What's happening over there? Abby?
Me?
Yeah, you.
What happened?
What you doing?
I was like reading the chat.
Oh, this is how it came across. I thought you were putting a spell on me. It scared me for a second.
No. Okay, so now I know I can't read the chat on here. Okay.
I was like, wait, what's going on? I know you were in New Orleans and you already know about the other thing. So I was like, I am not messing around with any of that.
No voodoo.
That being said,
I did get my palm read, but I'll tell you about it later.
That being said, he's a true F-boy. And why I say that is because he had no intention of being with her from the get-go. He had a group date with her from day one, ghosted, and then didn't show up, made plans, and then was like, hey, I'm busy with my friends watching sports. Let me show up and have a booty call later. Then he doesn't get chosen, and he still takes you back, but he only takes you back because he's only ever thought of you for the sex part of it. So I just don't understand how we're not all seeing that. He wants to have sex with her, and that's it.
I wonder if watching it back will help her realize the ways in which she has one-sided this relationship.
I hope so, but you know, some people, when you're delusional, Delulu only sees Delulu, so she's only going to see what she thinks is right, really. And here's the thing: he continues to precipitate his F-boy behavior by letting her know up front, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be able to take you to the airport because I have to go to work.
Like, he didn't even bother to stay the full night.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm here. He's going to hit it and quit it. I'm not taking you to the airport. And she's complaining while they're lying in her bed in the hotel room that, you know, if she doesn't reach out, he doesn't. And I was like, so Monica, that's not a clue for you? Listen, what I'm not about to do is beg anyone for their attention. That's what I'm not about to do. And you can ask anyone that I've dated, you're lucky if I text you back. Like, honestly. Because you're not the prize. That's how I see it. If you're into it, then make it happen. Then she goes on to say that she loves him. He's so special. She wants to be with him. She wants to love him. And then he says, I love you too. And when I tell you guys that I like threw up in my mouth a little bit, I did. Because I was like, oh, so now we're just going to, like I said earlier, we're just going to gaslight each other and make this something that is absolutely not. You don't even know this fool's last name. You never been to his place. You don't even know he says that he's some sports person, but you don't really know his job. You don't know his history. You don't know if he has a baby mama and 10 kids out there. You don't know if he's even married at this point. Just because he signed up with a matchmaker, that's all you know about him. And from day one, you were ready to like, from day one. And that's what happened. And now here you are, your head's all twisted. You guys are both saying that you love each other, but what is it that you love about each other since you don't even know each other? It's like, it makes me sick, to be honest.
It's infuriating, really. It really, I shouldn't be bothered so much. It's Monica's life. She can live it however she wants to, but somehow it's infuriating me.
I'm infuriated, Abby, because then she goes on to say that she wants him to come to California to visit, and that, quote, you don't have to pay anything. I'll personally get you to Cali. And he says, okay, because that's right in line with his, I don't give a shit about you. And if I don't even reach out to you, that's okay, because I know that you're going to reach out to me. And then how you start a relationship is how the relationship is going to continue and persist. So now you're like, oh, he put 0.0 effort in, and now you're like, I'll fly you across the country to come visit me. And then you'll stay at my place. And guess what? Since you are putting me up, you're paying for everything because you're the one that asked me to be out here. What?
Mm-hmm. The only way I could make sense of this is like if she secretly has a desire to mom her partner instead of having a partner who's a full partner. Like, does she secretly have some desire to be in control in this way that she's willing to do this?
Is that what it is?
I was just trying to come up with reasons why she would look at this and think that it's okay.
No, I think that she's been out of the dating scene for so long that this little bit of attention from a bad boy is really bringing her back to her high school glory days. I think she's acting like a teenager, being like a teenager, and the results are like a teenager. But now she has money. And so now she's like, I can continue this fantasy, and I can fund this fantasy for as long as I want to fund it. And guess what? I chose me first, bitch. Are you crazy?
I would like to think that even a teenager could understand if someone is unable to keep communication with you when you're in the same country with them, then there is no foundation on which you're going to build a long distance relationship.
I'm giving her that she hasn't been in the dating scene for like 10 years or whatever she said it was. That's right. That part. But you know what, Midwife Crystal, if she is indeed choosing the hit it and quit it, then at least say that, because sometimes it's about that, you guys. I watched the funniest video that I've seen in a long time, and to sum it up, this guy was basically like, women, you guys are the new F-boys. He tried to date this girl and found out that she had this roster, didn't really remember his name, and was basically like a hit it and quit it. And he got his feelings hurt. He's like, why can't I be in the proper rotation? And she was like, because you weren't that great. And so now his feelings are hurt. And I was like, y'all made us that way. You all made us that way. If you think that, hey, every beautiful woman out there has a roster who's single, she probably does. And she does, because this 2020-25, that's new. 2020 to 2025? Yeah, it's about right. Dating is trash. And you men have made it trash. And who's the princess and who's the prize? It's hard to say. So women are like, you know what? Then I'm not going to spend time and energy, unlike Monica, on BS. I'm going to just keep the roster full. And I'll tell you that if you guys were here last week and I mentioned some dating, I said that to that person directly. I said, you know what? You fell off the roster. You're not even top 10 anymore. So I don't even have the energy. Happens. It's a true story.
Happens.
Louisa shows up. And, it's Monica's last day. She's leaving. And the first thing Louisa says, how's Bruno? And Monica's face cracked me up. She's like, Well, I have a lot to tell you. So much has happened. My decision to choose Bruno, I couldn't stop thinking about Bernardo. End scene. Thank you very much. That's a winning performance. My note says, really, question mark.
It was poor Louisa. We want Louisa to come back, but we gave her Monica and Tony. Oh, poor Louisa.
Right. That's America for you. That's America for you. Okay. So she's crying. My note says, really, question mark. So you broke up with Bruno and your heart is with Bernardo. You broke up with Bruno and your heart is with Bernardo. Okay. Makes sense to me. Louisa is not impressed. Her face said everything that I say out loud, which, I should try to work on because you shouldn't say everything that you think out loud. But here I am, and here I'm about to do it again. Actions are louder than words. And she does not, even though she's the one that set up Bernardo, she set up Bernardo to teach Monica a lesson that clearly Monica was not willing or ready to learn, right? She wasn't ready to learn it. She wanted to be in this moment, swept up by an F-boy because that F-boy had the right words, even though, you guys, he wasn't paying her any more particular attention than Bruno. Bruno was just the quote-unquote nice guy. That is not what she wanted. So Louise is completely not impressed and thinks that Bernardo is truly not open or ready for a real relationship that Monica says that she wants. But then here's the plot twist, you guys. I don't think, Abby, that Monica is actually ready for a real committed relationship. You want to know why? I don't think she knows what a healthy, happy, communicative, 50-50 in energy relationship looks like. And guys, for those of you guys that have watched our show for many, many years, here's part of the reason why I think that. Did they have the sex talk?
No.
Did they talk about money?
No.
How you spend money, how you save money, what your how much money you make? Did they have that talk?
No.
They did talk about children, but were they open and honest about how they feel about having children?
I don't think he was.
Absolutely not. He lied because he wanted to hit it. Did they talk about their faith, their religion, their beliefs, and what that looks like in their relationship? Did they have any of those conversations, Abby?
Just surface to say that they're both Catholic, but they didn't go into how does that affect your life and how you live and how much time do you spend at the church? How much money do you give to the church? They didn't go into detail about what it means for each of them to be Catholic.
That part. 5 things that you need to talk about. Yes, Crystal. Welcome back. Welcome back to the fold. That, and also, you guys, I just think that if you can't sit and have those serious conversations, and I'm not talking about, and I saw that EJ is in the live chat. Shout out to EJ, but I'm not talking about, hey, let's have a baby in 2 years conversation on the 3rd date. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, which I've always said, once you've decided that you're going to be in a committed relationship or an exclusive relationship or a relationship that you think is going to be long-term and longevity, you have to have these conversations. And yes, those are the 5 questions that you need to talk about. You're not talking about it on the 2nd date. You're not talking about it on the 3rd date. You're talking about it when you both decide that this is something that you want to be long-term. This is something that you want to be exclusive. Now, for those of you, and listen, girls, come in closer. Closer. Listen, Abby and I have talked about it. Okay? If you need to go out there and hit it and quit it, then by all means do that. And you're none of the names that men who do the same thing call you. do that, but know that that's what it's about. But as a female, it's harder for us because we attach really quickly. So if you're not ready to be detached, right? And like I said about having a roster, if you're not ready to have a roster and you know that you cling on, then maybe that's something that you're not going to want to do. But feel free to do that. Get that out of your system so that you can think clearly and logically. So that when someone is coming and gaslighting you, you recognize it right away, Monica. So I personally think that Monica needs to literally go out there and, like my mom would say, and I would say it differently, but also we're live. I'll say, go and sow your seeds. Sow your seeds. See what you like. You've been out of the game for a while, but don't like lock in to F-boy behavior if you're not willing to have F-boy results. Abby?
Mhm. I agree. I think that she should have maybe taken a couple of girls' trips and had a couple of flings, and then she could come back and be ready for a serious relationship. Because right now it doesn't appear from the outside looking in that she's dating for longevity.
Absolutely not. I don't think she even knows what that looks like. So then, when she's explaining to Louisa that she broke up with Bruno, we know that Bruno cried, thought that she should have given him a heads up beforehand, thought that she shouldn't have chosen him, all of the things. Um, but ask me, where's Bernardo right now? Oh, nowhere to be found. He didn't spend the night. He hit it and quit it, had sex, bounced, didn't even stay the night, y'all. But she is saying how great and how in love she is with them. Um, Louisa's like, "Are you in love?" And Monica's like, "We're getting there." And then,
We
yes, Louisa. Louisa is me, and I am Louisa. Louisa said, "We or you." Guess what happens next?
exactly what we expected.
She starts crying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hope he chooses me. I just want to be happy in my life. Okay,
Mm.
end scene. Listen, y'all. My acting skills are on point today. I don't know what is happening, but I am about to be Oscar nominated. That being said, should we do how each person ended up right now?
Yes, let's go ahead.
Okay, so Monica allegedly and Bernardo allegedly, because I don't believe it for 1 minute, are in a long distance relationship. We find out, and I know that Monica's the one that said that he is initiating communication more often now. And Bruno is still single and looking to find his soulmate. Were you surprised by that ending? I mean, I wasn't. I'm not surprised by it at all because guess what? Monica is the one that is funding this long distance relationship. And so she'll be in it for as long as she continues to fund it. That's what I think. Moving on to Amber, Keven, and Glenn. Yeah, right? I don't believe it either for 1 minute. I don't believe it either. StreamYard. I don't believe it for 1 minute, you guys, that she's with him still. Amber, Glenn, and Keven. Okay, so we left off with Amber freaking out. There's a little bit of an echo, Abby, on your part right now.
It's because give me 1 second. I need to turn on my do not disturb. Sorry, guys.
No worries. All right, while she does that, figures out that technical difficulty, you guys. Oh, there is really an echo. Oh, bueno. Amber is super mad right now at Glenn, right in the last episode. we saw that she slapped the Guinness out of Glenn's hand. And unfortunately, you guys, this is something that I really do want to talk about because there's a stereotype in there that unfortunately, even though I think she was the breakout star of this season, people I've seen on Reddit are hating on her and hard. And it's unfortunate because now they're going to hold on to a stereotype that they don't even need to hold on to, but because it's out there, that's what they're holding on to. So the whole season, it's been amazing. She's really represented, I thought, in a genuine human female way. But all of a sudden, and America is America, now you guys are all hating on her for real? Hey, Veronica. Veronica says, when Amber tossed that beer, I reminded 3 times, I love it. And Joslo said, I love Amber. Who's hating on her? Well, Joslo, everyone. If you go on Reddit, you'll see the disgusting things that they have to say about her. And I am not going to even repeat any of that. Oh, that's much better. I'm going to remove the other one. Okay, Abby? Yeah, you're good to go. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Yes.
Good. Becca says, Amber is great. People are stupid.
We have, there's such things right now in the US are not good. And the circumstances that are happening around the same time as this and last week's episode happening are just, I think they're making this much worse than it would normally be. Obviously, not good to assault someone, especially not good to assault someone in a foreign country, because that would be considered an assault here. I don't actually know if it's considered an assault in Ireland. But at the same time, if a person is not already racist, one action is not going to turn them into one.
I mean, well said. Well said. My whole concern is that people have such short-term limited memories that, again, while you were offline for a moment, what I was saying is that the terrible things that I'm seeing on Reddit and the stereotypes I'm seeing about black women are unfortunate. They're really, really unfortunate. And given the times that America is living in, I'm not surprised by it, but it is unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate. That's all I have to say. So Glenn says that she's unpredictable, that she's a brat, and no wonder that she hasn't ended up with someone, and no wonder she's single. And if she's going to be this beer tipping, glass slapping individual, he can't imagine himself ever ending up with someone like that. And on the flip side, Amber feels like he was lying to her face, which he was. He was gaslighting her, which he was. He was getting his 5 minutes of fame. I threw that in there, which he was, because he thinks he's Mr. Ireland, which he is. However, last week told me everything I needed to know, you guys. When he was looking for makeup from Amber and from Victoria, that's all you needed to know. That's all you needed to know about him. That it had nothing to do with Amber per se. It had to do with, let me gaslight her, let me love bomb her, let me make it all about her and find out all the things that she loves so that I can gas it up and make her believe it. And it's interesting, you guys, because I am currently watching on Netflix the Romance Scammers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Romance Scam. Anyways, it's one of the girls that was swindled by the Tinder swindler. She's now working with a private detective and helping other women who get caught up in romance scams. And it honestly made me think about Glenn a little bit, in the sense that they will learn all the things about you, the good, the bad, the ugly. And you think that, oh, wow, they're so attentive. They're listening to me. They really want to know me. But meanwhile, they're just collecting data. And they're thank you, LoveCon. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. LoveCon on Netflix. They're just collecting data so that they can use that information against you and swindle you out of whatever it is they're trying to swindle you from. 99% of the time it is money. They're trying to take your money. But I've also seen how some of them are, I think it's called hobosexual. Have you heard that term, Abby, before?
Yes, especially because winter is coming now. So the joke is like, women, winter is coming, hide your houses. The hobosexuals are coming
Yes!
out.
Women, if you haven't heard it, because I hadn't heard of it, and I was like, what are you talking about? There are men that will date you only because they have no place to go. And they want to
Yep.
stay and have shelter, and that shelter is your shelter.
Yeah. I wanted the producer to do one thing. I just wanted the producer, because I hate when people get away with this kind of behavior, to just say, can you show us the text messages that you sent to Amber?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Jasmine said you're vibrating a little bit. So, women, ladies, look out, because it's that season where you just don't know what that person is looking for, right? And I encourage you to take your time, because if they are looking for something and you're taking your time getting to know them, they're gonna not waste time. They're gonna move on, and they might drop you, they might ghost you or whatever. But for me, in my words, that's God protecting you. So take your time. Take your time getting to know them, because if it is a scam, if it is love bombing, if it is gaslighting, they're going to move on to the next person, because they don't got time for Miss Turtle over here who's taking too much time. That, what? I can't move in after a month? What? You can't loan me $500 after a week? What? You can't pay for dinner on the second date? All of those things are red flags that if you take your time, they will surely reveal themselves to you. Okay? Okay? Hear me. Hear me. And also, single ladies. What is it?
All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Put your hands up.
You guys. You know why? It's because I need my microphone. You guys, do you miss my microphone? I can only sing when
I do miss the microphone.
Okay, great. I'll bring it back. That being said, take your time. So Amber's realizing that Katerina was right about Glenn, and she's wondering, is it too late to reach out to Keven? Katerina has already reached out to Keven, let him know what exactly was going on with Amber and the whole Glenn situation. And, you know, Katerina is not surprised by all of it, right? So Amber told her everything about Glenn. And like Katerina said, that she knew from day one that Keven was a much better match for Amber, because he's loving and he's solid. The only thing that we know is that he needs to really work on his insecurities, which, you guys, you know, I was talking about this with a friend of mine this weekend. We can come off it, however, we all have our own insecurities, right? Like, you can't tell me there's not one person in here in the live chat, watching the replay, any of that stuff, that doesn't have something that they're insecure about. We all have our insecurities. The thing is, in dating, we have to learn to be vulnerable, and we have to learn to communicate. And that part is the part that's not easy, but that's the part that's going to bond you with the right person, you guys. Now, hear me out, because I just talked about swindlers and romance scams. What we're not about to do is we're not going to be open and vulnerable for no reason, right? Just so that person can gather data about you. What we're going to do is make sure we feel safe and secure to be open with someone, because we believe that there is a future with us. We're not doing it on the first date. We're not doing it on the second date. We're not moving anyone into our houses in a month. We're not giving people our PIN codes to our ATM so that they can go and withdraw $500 every 5 seconds from your ATM from multiple ATMs. That's what we're not about to do. We're not inviting people to stay at our houses when they don't have somewhere else to go. The rule is, if you don't have a home, then you cannot spend the night. And I do not give a rat's patootie. You guys can fight me on this. If you're dating someone and they don't have, and you don't know them, they're not, you met them through your coworker and they work in the building next door, whatever. If you met them on some dating app and you go on a first date and the second date they're trying to spend the night and stay at your place, excuse me, what were you doing before you met me?
Right.
What were they doing before they met you? Keep that in the back of your mind always, because I don't understand it. You need $500 and you just met me last week. What were you doing before last week?
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to ask the question. Just peace out. Just like disappear like a. What was it? What's that? What's the X-Men character? Thanos? Just fade away. Fade to black.
Fade to black. Midwife Krista. Who is Keven? Yes, Keven is her other dating potential. So she had Glenn, who is Mr. Island, and Keven, who was Mr. Quiet, nice.
No. Crystal is saying that you made his name a black name, Keven, instead of Keven.
They've been saying Keven on the show. What are you talking about? Okay, y'all, don't go there with me. I am on episode 14. They did not say Keven. They did not say Keven. Okay. Listen, you guys are making me mad right now. Okay, let's go. Let's look at it right now. It's Keven, spelled Keavan. Keven. I'll give you that. It's Keven then. Abby, I'm looking at you. What are you doing?
Okay.
How you say it? Go ahead.
Listen,
Abby.
I am not the best with pronunciation,
Go ahead,
so
Abby. Say it how you say it.
Keven.
That is not how you've been saying it.
Yes, Keven.
Okay. I'll get back to you guys because I'm going to put my HBO backs. Crystal, welcome back. Love you for this. Love you for this. They say it like Keven or Keven. No, it's Keven, and I'm gonna continue to say it just like how I'm saying it. And yes, Keven, throw a little extra melanated in it. I'm good with it.
This is 90 Day the Melanated Way, so we're going to do it how you want to do it.
I'm doing it how I want to do it. I don't give a
Yeah.
rat's patootie. But I am going to look it up because you guys are killing me. Okay, so as I'm looking it up, Katerina has said everything about everything. Crystal, I love you. I'm so glad you're back. This girl, one of the things I love about having friends that are like your real friends, they will call you out on everything with no shade. No shade. And it's been a long time. Crystal's been gone for a while, but Crystal has always been the one that is like, this bitch is talking crazy. Let me just go ahead and say this and this and this and this. And I'm always like, oh! But then I laugh about it. So keep it coming. Becca said, I thought it was Keven, but a long E. Okay, you guys, we have to find this. Oh, we have to find this immediately, if not sooner. Let's keep on. Anyways.
Listen, it's probably something Gaelic that none of us is saying exactly correct.
Well, luckily, I'm going to find out, you guys. I'm going to find out. I'm worldwide, right? 5:19. What time is it in Ireland right now? I'm listening, you guys. I'm listening. I'm multitasking. Oh, it's
So
2:19. It's 2:19. So go ahead.
so you left off with Katarina messaging Keven, and saying there's an opportunity for him to see Amber again before she leaves.
Mhm.
And what do you think about the way he responded? He seemed a bit emotional in his response to that information.
So that being said, Katarina's like, I need Keven to man up, show up, and she's like, bloody hell. And so he got that text. He knew exactly that Amber was leaving. But Amber also texted him and he didn't respond. And she feels bad about it. She feels remorseful for not giving him more time. And she's wondering maybe he is the true love and she didn't give it enough opportunity. And so they pan into him on the dock. It's raining. He's by himself. He's upset because she spent all the remainder of her time with Glenn. And uh, my note says he looks like he was going to cry, which it did look like he was going to cry. And he's sad. He's nervous. He says it's lots to process. He feels sad because he feels like there was a lot lost in translation in the relationship, and he doesn't know like where that loss of translation was. Well, you guys, it was in the lack of communication on both parts, his part and on Amber's part. None of them wanted to be vulnerable with each other, but both of them were like, hey, I want this to work out. So guess what? It didn't. So he shows up at her hotel and she's so excited about it. They hug, they look longingly, but also lost, if that makes sense to you guys. Like longingly, but no one's doing anything about it. There is no solutions being made. They're both just looking at each other pathetically and lost. Like, oh, she's leaving. I feel bad about it. But no one's talking about their true feelings. No one's talking about Keven. Joslo says, Keven. She's not ready to leave. She apologizes to him. I'm sorry that I didn't spend more time with you and make you a priority. She didn't say that those are my words. And he's like, I know that you're sorry. But he knows that it was important for her to be there because he wanted to say goodbye to her because he really did care about her. And when the producers were like, it seems like he really cared about her. And he did. But guess what? Which I was saying from the get-go, it's getting lost. Like he thinks he's telling her stuff, but he's not. And she thinks she's asking him things, but she's not.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't being open and he wasn't being open. And yes, she was being flamboyant and exciting and a good time, all of those things, but she wasn't being open and vulnerable. That's what she was not about to be doing. Everyone's on it. Today. Everyone's on it. Okay, Joslo. I see midwife Crystal wearing off on you right now. 10 toes down. Yes, 10 toes down, Keven. Oh, Lord. Y'all are on it. I love it.
I have the same feeling that I had before about their situation. He's not keeping himself on her calendar, and she's not willing to be the one to initiate, which is fine. Like, you know, she wants some of the traditional gender role in there. But he is completely without knowledge on how to navigate dating someone who is dating multiple people, and it's hindering him mentally.
Yeah, but she also, too, needs to learn how to be vulnerable and open up and express how she's truly feeling as well.
Well, I think that's what's difficult in these relationships that people want that are more traditional. If you're going to be a traditional man who is pursuing me, then my security and my safety needs to be established before I give you any vulnerability. You're supposed to be the leader, right? So if that's what you want in a relationship, then that's the role that you have to play as the leader, as the man, as the stronghold. You don't get somebody's vulnerability in exchange for nothing. You get it in exchange for providing safety, pursue me, want me, love me, show me.
Mm. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. For someone who's like kind of in traditional roles of relationships, I will say that I agree, yet I disagree. I think that if you're talking about a traditional relationship, then you're not going to have a man. You're going to have a, yes, the man needs to make you feel safe and secure, but he's also not going to be the first to be open and vulnerable. In those traditional roles as a female, you're the first that's going to need to be open and vulnerable if we're strictly talking about the traditional roles. And if you indeed do that, and that's what Amber wants, and she is open and vulnerable, then they will be open and vulnerable in their most masculine ways. So I think it turns out to be like a catch-22. If you're saying, hey, you're looking for this traditional role for the male and female in a relationship, but again, if we're strictly talking about that, yes, the man will provide the safety and security and all of those things, but the vulnerability is going to have to come from you first. And that is definitely a traditional feminine role. Those are my thoughts. That being said, returning home, Amber stopped hearing from Keven. But she did hear from someone else that she worked with, you guys, and it is gone viral today after the episode from Sunday. But she briefly worked with someone. They started dating. She's 6 months pregnant, and she's expecting a baby shortly. So
congrats to Amber.
Congrats to Amber. Clearly didn't work out with Keven, and I'm curious to know more about this
new relationship,
who you worked with briefly, what that looks like. But again, everything happens for a reason, and have a happy, healthy baby, and congratulations.
Absolutely. Before we move on to the next person, I want to talk about Joslow's comment. It makes you wonder where they get these men to sign up for a matchmaker. They don't seem ready. So I was wondering this too, and I have two things that I think maybe happened. One, maybe they didn't really sign up for the matchmaker. Maybe they were just chosen for purposes of being on the show, because some of them don't seem like they really are ready for a serious relationship. And then the other thing I was thinking is, what if these men are just diabolical and they sign up for a matchmaker because they want to be paired with women who are desperate?
Oh, where are those balloons coming from?
I am just wondering because...
Hey, Abby, can you go like this again to your screen?
Oh.
No, just
down.
Follow what I'm doing. No, just go like this. Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. Oh. The first time it was balloons. When you went like this, the first time balloons came, now or confetti came down.
That is so weird. My nephew does something like this, and then like a thumb comes down, but I have no idea how he does, how he's making it happen.
Just go like this.
It's one of the kind of things I have to call Taylor out to help me with.
No, it's good. It entertained me. That was great.
I think there is a perception, whether true or not, that women who sign up for matchmakers might be a little bit desperate. So I was like, what if these men are just diabolical and they want like a slate of women just placed in front of them who they think that they're going to be easy for them to game?
I mean, I hope it's not that, right? But also there is a bit of casting in it, right? As a production, as a producer, on a reality show, that is your job, is to cast people, and you're going to cast whoever you cast and whatever that looks like. So, Mr. Ireland, I'm sure he's like, what? Be on international TV? Absolutely. I think there is a signing bonus, because that happens too with reality TV. If you guys don't know, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So, some people, maybe, yes, they're truly looking for love. Some people are just looking to be on TV. One of the things I am disappointed about this season, and I was going to say it at the end of the show, but it's disappointing to me that, out of 6 potential couples, none of them really worked out. And we were all invested. So that being said, moving on to Harold and Amber. He's trying to stay in Singapore for longer, and he wants to go out with Amber. And of course, at a pace that she's comfortable with, which I'm glad that he was able to reel it back in, because he was freaking out. And she says, sure, sounds good. But like, please, let this be casual. And when I see you kind of thing. And then she says that she's happy that he's extending his trip, and ask him the questions that you want to ask about being in a long distance relationship. How will this continue long distance, after you leave? He's like, we'll call, we'll talk about our days. It's important that you start to miss me, but we'll stay in contact. And I have to tell you guys, out of all the things that we've been talking about, communication, long distance relationships in general, Harold is the only one that has had growth. He's really, I don't know if it's because he learned from season 1, and so he's really receptive to everything that Dolly has taught him, but he has implemented the tools that he needs to be in a successful relationship. And I haven't seen that with anyone else this season yet.
I agree.
So she says that she's pleasantly surprised and happy that he's staying longer. And it shows her that he's interested and he wants to take things to the next level. And he's not only just waiting passively for something to happen, which is also important, you guys, where as females, we want, take charge, lead the way, show you're interested. I don't need to chase you. Chase us. Make plans. Say what you want. Do all the things. So when she said that she was happy that he's not waiting passively for something to happen, I totally related to that. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I've liked you for 4 years. What?
Oh,
what do you?
so
what?
annoying.
Like, okay. And anyways, yeah. Lead with your chest. I don't even know what that means, but it sounded good. So she is happy to be building a relationship with Harold. She asks, and I'm asking you this question, Abby, so heads up. And I'm asking the live chat as well, if you're watching the replay, because this I thought was a great question, and I did not like the answers on either of their parts. What is the difference between like versus love, Abby?
So we're talking about romantic relationships. So the difference for me between I like a person and I love a person is that I enjoy your company in a different way. And I want to share my life with you in a different way. This is not a casual get together every once in a while because you make me laugh. This is I'm planning the future, and I want you to be there with me when good things happen and when bad things happen. I want you to know me in a way that could hurt me. I want you to know what makes me sad and what makes me happy. And I want to be able to share with you without fear any doubts that I have about myself, any feelings that I'm inadequate, and I want you to be someone who can get me back in a good headspace and cheer me along. I'm not sharing these things with everybody that I like. I'm sharing them with you because I love you and I trust you. And I visualize us in rocking chairs in the future, old. I don't know if that's a satisfactory answer for you.
I mean, I think it's a great answer. I think it's a great answer. And if you guys don't know, April hard launched her bay, so she's speaking from experience right now. I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, I just say one more thing. I want you to be able to apologize and admit when you're wrong.
Is that in the love?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in love. Like, it's not really a requirement for like. It's great for like. It's great personal characteristic. But if I love you, I want to be able to say, oh, I was wrong the way that I treated you yesterday or what I said to you yesterday. And I want you to be able to say that to me too. And that we're going to change that and work on that behavior.
I love it. I love that answer. I'm going to keep mine simple and short and sweet and very direct. If I like you, cool. If we text every other day, great. If I hear from you, I hear from you. That's great. And love that. If I love you, then I'm 10 toes down and I expect to hear from you all day, every day. And we are completely connected. You know all the ins and outs about me. You love on me and I love on you, and I'm your ride or die, period. That's the difference for me.
Right.
And they're two completely different people. And people that I've dated in the past have said that, like, oh, the Linda that you're dating is kind of like gangster. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll see you when I see you. It's very hard for them to commute. But then when I'm in love with you, it's like a whole different story. But it takes it's like an
arc, and it should be an arc. I actually think that's why Amber's asking this question. I think she's trying to figure out, do I simply meet this list of requirements that Harold has? And so he's calling that love. Or is there some other feeling that he has for me that's not just you check off my boxes?
Yeah, but again, and I love Amber, definitely the breakout star of this season. She has to work on her vulnerability and opening up to people, because you also have to open up in order to get to the point where you love somebody. And that's what my belief. But yeah, you guys, live chat, haven't heard from you. What is the difference between like versus love? If you're watching the replay, let me know. Let us know. And
yes.
You guys go ahead and call Abby out now, because you guys are always messaging me when you could be messaging Abby the attorney. Because people who are commenting and sending messages on YouTube, Abby is not the best at
Listen, I am getting better. I'm gonna do better. But if you come over, like Becca always does, thank you, Becca. Come to the YouTube page and just let me know. I left you a comment. I left you a question. I will get back to you then.
So, but basically, she's saying, get off of my page and go to her page, and she does not comment on my page.
Like, I will if you tell me it's there. I will. I promise.
I only do that when you guys write diatribes that I'm like, oh, whoa. But not every comment. So you all just go ahead. You can @ people. You can @ Abby the attorney, and it will pop up for her. So do that as well, or just go to her page and talk crazy to her over there. Either way,
go ahead, talk crazy to me. I will admit when I'm wrong.
Either way, keep doing it on my page, because it tickles me pink, and I get to talk crazy about Abby, and she doesn't see it because she doesn't come and look at the comments. Yay! Jazzle says love versus like is impossible to put into words because love has feelings and it's hard to describe feelings. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Harold tries to explain it in his own terms. He says, let's say you have two friends and they both want to do the same activity. You have to choose one or the other because a threesome is not an option. Died of laughter. And It's the feeling you have when you're with the person, how you naturally want to act with that person versus how you act with that person. And I thought, you know what, for Harold, that's not bad. That's not a bad way to look at it and think about it. If you feel comfortable with the person and if you feel like you can see your life with that person, then perhaps you're falling towards love. Again, you guys, I'd love to hear everything that you guys think. So definitely let me know in the replay. And I was just joking. You can absolutely comment all day, every day, because I do reply to most of them. Harold's found love. And he is super happy with Dolly and everything he's learned from Dolly. And he says, basically, if it works out, he will invite Dolly to their wedding. And he's learned from Dolly that you should definitely wear suspenders when you're going kite flying. And love can come in many forms, many shapes. But you have to take your time. You have to give it time, and you have to build love. And with that, I was like, see, Harold, I really appreciate everything that you've learned. He asks Amber if he could kiss her. She says yes. They have a lovely little kiss tonight. And here's where I was really Amber ended things with Harold shortly after his return to the U.S. He then... And Harold, love you, friend, but this passport bro thing you're doing is kind of like, I don't know, it's not a good look to me. He met someone during a trip to Taiwan. So he went from Singapore to Taiwan now. He met someone and he was planning to propose to that Taiwanese person. And he ended it after she asked him for $150,000. So
he had enough sense to know that it was something was awry, unlike some other people that we've seen on reality TV shows.
I mean, I'm glad he didn't fall into the romance scam. I'm glad that he was aware enough to know that. I do think, though, that, find love where you need to find love. I just hope it's not, a passport bro situation where you're doing it at specific countries for specific reasons.
Right. Jocelyn's asking, where does Harold get his travel money? He has a really good job. He works at a nuclear power plant or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like 4 months on, 4 months off. So he has time to travel, and that's why he can stay longer. Victoria and Darren's supposed to bring her to the airport. He's not there exactly when she thought, so she's texting him. He tells her he's going to be there at 11:30. An hour later, he arrives with all the excuses. He's tired, had a long night, his phone died, but he brought her a gift for her flight, and it's a book. She's confused by his behavior because, again, he ghosted her the night before and he's not saying anything about it. But that just showed me his age, right? Because he's 20-something and 20-somethings do that. He's not saying anything, so she doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know how to act. It's very awkward. And she just thinks it's weird. And I thought it was weird, too. I was like, oh, you guys are both being just weird about everything. She is nervous to confront him, but she's changed. She's learned a lot, right, from Katerina, and she really wants to express her feelings. So she tries to confront him in the car on the way to the airport. And she's just like, I'm surprised that you got me a book, and I'm surprised that you actually showed up because, you ghosted me last night. And he's like, oh, and okay. He's like, oh, well, my phone died. And then the gate when I got home was open. And then my dog, he can get out. And then I had to go run and catch him. And then my phone died. And she accepted them. She's like, I believe his excuses and I'm going to accept it and move on. I was shocked, you guys. I think I'm like, oh, is that why people think I'm like so hardcore when it comes to dating? Because like, if it doesn't make sense to me, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense to me, I am not letting it go until it makes sense to me. And if I let it go, it means I don't care and you can peace out. I will peace out in 5 seconds. If you're telling me something like your dog, the gate, what does that have anything to do with pre-existing plans that you just did not show up to?
Right.
And
it didn't make sense to me either.
And your phone died, so there's no outlets anywhere. There's no chargers anywhere. You don't have a power bank everywhere. Like everyone doesn't have a power bank everywhere. Like this is 2025. Even if it was filmed in 2024, I'm just trying to. So you are a 20-something, and you know how these alpha, beta 20-somethings are. They have their tech everything. So you're telling me your phone died, and you didn't have access to it for almost 24 hours?
Yeah, it's crazy. There was no profuse apology. This did not make sense to me until the very end. I was like, Victoria, girl, what are you doing even letting him be a part of your ride to the airport? What are you doing for giving him? And then at the very end, before she boards her flight, it all made sense.
So she's like, oh my God, we got these ghost tattoos. I thought that you were putting it into real life, which I thought was funny. That was very witty of her. She's going to accept excuses. They're both like, okay, no pressure. She's like, well, are you going to come and visit me in New York? He's like, yeah, but in 4 months because I'm booked up for work. Didn't really like that answer either, but at least he was honest. He goes on to say he's going to miss her. He had a good time. They do like a first little kiss at the airport as a goodbye kiss. And it wasn't like making out like Monica was making out or any of the other ladies. It was just like a pet goodbye. And then we find out, you guys, that Victoria and Darren have been a little bit untruthful to us. Okay. So not the first time they kissed. Okay, they kissed like that first night that they met. And they've kissed often. And not only have they kissed, wham, bam, wham, bam, wham, bam, sexy, sexy time it is. They were all the way in. They were all the way in, which totally makes sense with why there was like this weird little situation going on while they were so like texting all the time, while they were smiley. You know what? They kiss.
Jiggy.
They jiggy. They kiss and they don't tell. They kiss
right.
and they don't tell.
So I noticed something. Tell me if I'm taking this way too far. Victoria posted some photos on her Instagram, and the caption of the photos is, here are pictures from some of the places that Darren took me on the dates that were not shown on the show. And I looked at the pictures and noticed that a lot of them are pictures of scenery and him, like him in the corner of the scenery, not posed, just, candid shots. And I was taking from this that there's an infatuation here on your side that maybe is not being reciprocated. Why are there all of these candid shots of him and the scenery? She wasn't in any one of the photos.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at it to have an opinion. But I mean, you're probably not wrong. But we find out that Darren flew to New York City and spent the holidays with Victoria. And even though there's not a lot of PDA between them, they're planning to meet in London next. So they are the only couple of the season that are, well, Monica says that they're in a long distance relationship, but we don't believe Monica.
We do not believe Monica.
I don't believe it. Just because you're calling him and sending him money and you're going to fly him to California does not make it a relationship. So that being said, yes, you guys, I know that Monica says that she's in a long distance relationship with Bernardo, but the only couple to see each other outside of the show and to say that they're continuing to get to know each other is Darren and Victoria. So that was surprising to me, and take from it what you may. But you know, the age difference is going to start to show, Abby, and I think that that's part of what you're seeing is the age difference.
That's also probably true, yeah. And some people don't like to be photographed. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's I don't know what it is. I have to look at her photos. Last and certainly not least, Sarah and EJ. EJ says he's sad that she's leaving, and Sarah's sad that she's leaving, and everyone's sad that they're leaving, and it's the end of some time. EJ arrives at her hotel, hugs her, hugs the mom. They want help. They, meaning Kitty and Sarah, want help with their luggage. And Kitty says something that is super hilarious to me that I was like, oh, low key, is that a little dig to your own daughter? Because she's like, thank you so much for helping with her baggage. She has some baggage, Kitty says. And I'm like, LOL, because yes, she has some baggage. And thanks him for helping. And Sarah's, a little melancholy. She says that she thought her and EJ wanted the same things out of life, but both have some baggage and they haven't worked it out. And, she's leaving today and they haven't had any other conversations about it. The thing is, the baggage that she's talking about, you guys, is this 2-year plan, his 2-year plan versus her 1-year plan. And again, it's a bit confusing to me because you guys have been on like 3 dates and then you're expecting someone to commit to you after 3 dates and talk about, yes, we can have a baby next January. I guess it's possible because, listen, Amber is having a baby. So I guess it's possible, right, Abby?
But she's having a baby with somebody that she was already acquainted with. In this case, Sarah met someone she never knew before. And instead of saying, let's get to know each other and what our parenting styles are, what our religion is, and how we handle money, and all of Linda's 5, instead of letting that play out, she wants this person to commit that in 2 years he's going to be ready to have a baby. And that's ridiculous. You basically want somebody who is immature enough to make that kind of commitment with a stranger.
Yeah, I just, you guys already know how I feel about it. Like, what you're not about to do is tell me that we're having a baby and getting married after 3 dates. Like, that just is outrageous. So she thought they wanted the same thing. She's disappointed that he didn't give her the answer that she was looking for. So she feels like her and EJ are leaving not in very good terms. And then they get into the car service to the airport, and Kitty asks about EJ's 2-year plan. And she's like, I'm asking for a friend. And he says, I don't know. I don't know where it's going, which is an absolute correct answer. Y'all, we've been on 3 dates. I don't know. Do I want to get to know your daughter more? Yes, I'm hopeful. But what you guys are not about to do is bully me into saying that I have plans to come to Texas. I have plans to marry her. I have plans to have a baby in the next year. He literally said from the jump that his priority is his business, and his business is going to be his priority for the next 2 years. And you guys, when people tell you exactly who they are, believe them. You're not going to change what they're saying. You really are not. And women, dear women, I say this with the utmost love and respect for you. If you're dating a shitty man, having his baby is not going to make him any less shitty.
Oh,
So
say it again, Linda.
Think that having a baby is going to make him more communicative, more exclusive, more lovey, more responsible, have him work more, have him stay out of jail, have him not be in the streets, have him not cheat on you because you're going to be the baby mama. I don't know who you are kidding. The only person you're kidding is yourself, because all that's going to happen is that you're tying yourself to this irresponsible person for the rest of your life. Now, I am the biggest Cardi B fan, love her. Okay. She's having a baby with Stefan. And if you know anything about him, he has multiple baby mamas. He's like a Nick Cannon for the NFL. However, after she announced just this week that she's having his baby, it's now coming out allegedly, because I don't know if it's true, it could just be the rumor mill, it could just be the internet, that he's also having babies with multiple other women at the same time. And so I circle back to what I just said. Dear women, having someone's baby is not going to change who they are as fundamental people. Okay. And also, dear women, I'm all about the pro-female movement. I'm all about women getting down and jiggy and not having any labels and being slut shamed. Do you? But can we just talk about, as grown women, that you can have protected sex?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to always be about having someone's baby. And like, I'm just trying to figure out, all y'all that are running amok out there, it's not, I don't know how to even explain it, but it's 2025. There are multiple forms of protection. Look it up, research it, because you might not want to tie yourself to that person for the rest of your life. Okay, thanks to my TED Talk women. Do better, be better.
Yeah, you don't have to unnecessarily complicate your life by rushing headfirst into some things. You're putting your life at risk during pregnancy, and you don't need to take that lightly. And men shouldn't take it lightly either. I mean, if you know that you don't want to have kids, you don't want to be a father, you don't want to support someone through a pregnancy, go ahead and have a vasectomy. You can still have kids later on with a surgical procedure, but in the meantime, you can protect yourself against having unwanted connections and children.
I just think you guys, I'm already a germaphobe. You guys, what? Listen, maybe I'll say it more bluntly after I say Becca's comment. Becca's comment also doesn't change who you are in the way you think it will. Facts. And Joslo says the NFL pays for a lot of fatherless children. Those are two also facts. That's a whole other conversation that I won't. That's a whole TED Talk for me. That being said, I was once told or heard something that really resonated with me, and I'm going to share it with you guys so that it can resonate with you guys as well. When you have sex with someone, you are having sex with your soul and their soul. And every person that you have unprotected sex with, you have unprotected sex with every person and every soul that they've had unprotected sex with. And so every time you're having unprotected sex, know that you're not the first person that they're having unprotected sex with. So you can imagine each and every time that you're having unprotected sex is each and every time that they've had unprotected sex. Each soul, they call soul ties, that they've tied to, you are now tied to. And whether you or whatever you believe in the universe, believe in all of that, but those ties are real. They are real, 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 real. And they manifest however they manifest, whether you're having a child, whether nothing happens, whether it's a disease, whether it's your heart that falls in love with someone that you shouldn't be with, that you thought you wanted to be with. That's a tie. That's what I mean. So think about that the next time you're like, oh, well, I'm caught up in the moment, fun and games. I'm just saying it takes 5 seconds to 5 seconds. And even if you don't want to be in the moment, as a woman, you have multiple options pre-hand. Abby just mentioned multiple options as a man. Unless you're willing to risk it and you want to be tied to that person, then just think about it, you guys. It's 2025. EJ says his 2-year plan is important to be a good partner and a husband.
That's good. I think it's really good that you don't let someone force a particular timeline on you, because you might end up having resentment in the end, and it's really hard to be in a situation long term and have resentment towards that person or towards that child. So it's really important not to let someone push you into a timeline that does not work for you. And I think it's really good that you stood up for yourself, EJ, in that way. And I found you to be really honest when you said, I don't really see how that's going to work, because she was wanting something that didn't fit into your plan. Your plan that you stated from the very outset was to focus on your business and focus on spreading your business, expanding your business, and you're going to do competitions. And so, especially since you don't know what kind of baby you're going to have, everyone just takes for granted that they're going to have a child that has typical regular development. But if you have a child that has special needs, that throws off a lot of things, a lot of what you're planning on doing in the future, where you might plan to live, where you might plan to travel, what kind of medical treatment you need. It changes a lot of things that I think people take for granted. People say, oh, we'll just figure it out when the baby gets here. Guess who that's not fair to? The baby.
I mean, okay, so, and I love that. I think everything you're saying is absolutely correct. I think EJ in the live chat saying, you don't want to have a baby with the wrong person, all of that is important. But at the end of the day, you all didn't know each other. Talking about babies are premature. I just went on my TED Talk, and so I'm not going to repeat myself, but what I will say that I appreciated about what EJ said on the show was that he's never been in a long distance relationship before. He doesn't know how to do it. He thinks it's going to be difficult. And when I said to you guys, and I always say to you guys, listen to people's words and their actions, he's saying, I've never done this before. I can't say, yes, I'm going to commit to you, because he's never been to Houston. I don't even know if he's been to the United States. Maybe he's not interested in going to the United States. We don't know that. But what he is being honest about is that, hey, I've never done this before. So I'm hopeful, but I don't know how this is going to pan out, which is the most honest you can be, right? So instead of gaslighting and being like, yeah, I'm going to come to Houston. Yeah, I really see a future for us. Yeah, we can be exclusive, and her getting hurt again, right? Because we know that she's been hurt in the past. We know that people gaslight and love bomb all the time. Instead, he was open and direct and honest. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. It seems a little difficult. I've never done it before. I'm sad about it, but he's being honest about where he is, and that's what I appreciated out of all the things. Mm-hmm. They hug goodbye, and they don't kiss goodbye. They just hug goodbye, and they say, take care. And he has like a moment you see at the airport where he's like, oh, I wish I had 5 more minutes with her. And says he feels lost and this sucks and all of that. And those are all real, honest emotions, Abby, because you know what? You had a great time with this person. And when you have a great time, and you guys know I talk about the travel and vacay bay and holiday bay and where to leave that, I think it's okay that they left it where it was. I think they both learned a lot about each other. But I also know that it was not enough time to say, hey, we're going to be in a committed relationship. And that's okay too, you guys. It's okay to have a little holiday fling, get to know someone, get to know your likes and your wants and your needs. Because if it truly is going to be a long distance relationship, someone is going to have to move. And I just see that happening in this situation. In order for it to be successful, someone is going to have to move. So she's disappointed about the goodbye. She says that she really tried to facilitate something more. She tried to facilitate him talking about their future being together and for them to quote, let's do this. And he just didn't, in her opinion, that he just didn't pick up on what she was putting down. And she felt like if he really wanted to be with her, which is something that women say all the time. And maybe Abby, you can explain it to me because I don't get it. Sarah says, if he really wanted to be with me, he wouldn't have let me leave. And that's confusing to me, Linda Antwi. Like, what do you talk about?
Well, in this particular instance, that's confusing to me because we saw EJ make the decision to miss a competition in order to spend more time with her. So that's really confusing. There's already been that kind of grand gesture shown. In normal circumstances, if that didn't happen, I would say, she wants him to say, when is the next time that they're going to see each other? Like, make some plan for the future. But in this instance, I didn't really understand why she was saying that. Also, for me, before I even saw the end credits, when they hugged, I said, oh, that's a goodbye. That's a final goodbye. That's how that felt to me.
Agreed. EJ says that I was sad. He was really sad. And he was being 100% honest with how he was feeling. And again, we believe that. All those things can be true. I personally, you guys know me, true crime, right? True crime. That's my background, all the things. When someone says like, oh, he wouldn't let me leave, that just makes me feel confused. What are you talking about? You have free will. Why would he not let you leave? And if he didn't let you leave, that would be another scary conversation to have as well. So we find out at the end credits that Sarah and EJ did not speak again after their goodbye. She's dating a doctor who lives in Houston from, you guys, Guyana. Okay. And I thought that was very interesting because, those Caribbean men. Okay. For her. And EJ should come on our show and tell us exactly what he's been up to and how his business is. And we've offered a bunch of times, haven't we, Abby?
Yeah. Maybe this is his lane. He's comfortable chatting with us, but maybe he doesn't want to be on video. So we got to let EJ do what he's comfortable with.
And that's fair, I guess. EJ says, and that was really confusing. Exactly. That being said, you guys, let me not forget about my favorite comment. Now, in the end credits, we got to see where all the couples are. These are my words. These are not what everything else I wrote verbatim, but for this person, I just wrote my own words. Okay. But the end result is the same. No one has heard from Tony.
And that's a good thing. No one should ever hear from Tony again.
That's it. That's all. So yeah, that's not what they said, but that was the end result. I hope therapy on him. I hope growth for him. I hope an expanded mind for him. And I just really hope that he works on himself and that he does not put all of his toxicity upon others anymore until he works on that. And on that note, that is the end.
That's the finale.
Finito. Season 2 of Match Me Abroad. You guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we heard you, or at least I heard you, because again, you know how Abby is. But I heard you. I've seen all your comments. I've gotten all your messages. So on Friday, this Friday coming up, we will start 90 Day Fiance the other way, because you all voted and that's what you want us to do. I'm excited to see what Jenny and Submit have been up to. EJ says, I'll come on.
Good.
Let's do it. So let's do it, EJ. Let's do it. If you have time this Friday, we should do that instead of starting the other way, and then we can start the other way on Monday, Abby.
Okay.
I am going to send you Linda is so girly. You guys don't all message me, because I told you how I do not text back. I don't want to hurt your feelings. So I'm sending this email address to EJ. Don't all feel free to message me crazy stuff. Okay? I love you guys, but I don't love you like that. Shoot me an email, EJ, and then I will send you all the things and we can work out a time. We would love to have you on the show and find out exactly what your business is, how we can help support it, all of that great stuff. But until then, you guys, the other way. We are moving to the other way. Back to 90 Day. But this was a much needed, great show. I've very much enjoyed myself this season. Again, I'm still a little bit disappointed on all the couples, but I learned a lot about even my own dating style. Abby, did you learn anything about your dating style?
I learned a lot, and I also really want to go to Singapore now.
Yeah, it's been on my list though for a long time.
It was not on my list before, believe it or not, but I'm in now.
Oh, and are there any East Coast girlies in our chat from our show? I know we have a ton of Floridians, but are there any New Yorkers? And I'll tell you why, but let us know in the live chat if you are in the New York City area. Okay.
Or you can easily get to New York.
Yes. So if you're like in Philly, you're in Boston, any of those areas, and you guys can easily get to New York, please do let me know. All right, you guys, we love you. Happy season. Happy Monday. And we will see you shortly. And you guys, it looks like we might have EJ on the show for Friday. So
yeah,
get on your calendar and tell a friend to tell a friend. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.